if I have my own game center that I can run or something, or if I'm hired by a game center, especially when it comes to making the big decisions, or if a brand like an emerging, game center brand or business reaches out to me and says, hey, we want to open a game center, what game should we add, and blah blah blah, here's exactly what I will do. Okay, so I have been to many game centers where I live, and you can basically check the description below to see my playlist where I review different techs of where I live, where I go to not only game centers but hotels, review apps, and so on. But for you guys who just want to view only the game center content, I will link everything individually in the description so that way you won't have to go through everything on my playlist if you're not interested in that. Now, for the game centers that I've been to where I live, they always have the same games, the same Mortal Kombat, the same FIFA. Many of them may have very, very little variety as to what they have to offer. Now, for me, when it comes to my own game center, I want to do something that's so different to the point where now that you will always run back to us no matter what. I want to make what I have to offer as a game center so unique that, like, when it comes to game centers that you'll be talking about and everything, it's only going to be our own. You talk about and stuff. You get what I mean? Like, that's how I basically want my own game center to be. Do you get what I mean? And how can we be different from other game centers? It's quite simple. By offering variety, by giving you, the customer, as many options as possible. Now, how are we going to offer this variety, you might ask? It's quite simple. For our game center, we're going to do something different by combining both old and new games. Now, for the new games, let's start with that. We're going to add the PS5 and everything that many game centers have nowadays. But however, we're going to do something a little different with our PS5. Now, I'm going to specifically deal with an issue that I normally have with Mortal Kombat on PlayStation. Now, every game center I go to primarily has either Mortal Kombat 11 or some of them might have Mortal Kombat 1. Now, the issue that they have is the fact that you cannot access all characters or skins in the game, which just makes playing it feel bland. Do you get what I mean? My reason for wanting to play Mortal Kombat is that I love the DLC characters. Like, ever since they made Mortal Kombat 9, they added people like Freddy Krueger and all those types of people. That is what just made me fall in love with Mortal Kombat, because I love those characters so much. And I would want people to have access to all these people. Like, I used to watch videos on TikTok where now that I'll be seeing that Joker is a character in Mortal Kombat 11, people like Spawn, Terminator, Robocop, those types of people. And I genuinely want to play as these characters. But however, none of these game centers ever have the version that has all characters. I also hate playing Mortal Kombat 11 and having to always play as the undead version of Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Kitana. I hate seeing the undead versions of these characters, if I'm being very honest. The same thing also applies with Mortal Kombat 1. I want to play as characters like Peacemaker, Homelander, Omni-Man, those characters for once. But nobody ever has that version where I can play as those people. I can only see them on TikTok. I want to see them in real life. And this is something that our game center will solve. We'll make sure that you have all those characters and everything, and that's the reason why you come back to us. Because think about it, characters like Omni-Man, Homelander, Joker, Terminator, Robocop, these are characters that resonate with Nigerians because people know them, people love their movies or whatnot. So by having these people as characters that you can easily access and everything is what is going to make us special. It's going to make us like have that as a selling point. Do you get what I mean? Now, we will still add varieties of games for PS5, but I'm not sure about what we will add for now. But I'm just thinking about this Mortal Kombat thing. Now, let's also talk about the old games as well. Now, when it comes to old games, I want to concentrate on consoles like PS4 and PS3. Now, you might be asking me, why am I concentrating on these consoles in 2025 when PS5 exists? Why I should just concentrate on that one? Yeah, I can concentrate on them, but however, these consoles are special. And let me tell you why. The games in these consoles have a lot of replay value. Like, for example, there was this time I went to this game center in Ikeja, at Ikeja City Mall. They had this like gaming truck and everything. I went there so that they had an Xbox 360. And they had the older games like, Mortal Kombat 9, Blur, and all those types of games. And I was so happy when I got to play them. If these people can have this old game console here, it means that there's something special about it, that the games that they have there are valuable. In fact, your companies like PlayStation, Microsoft, and so on, they keep on remastering and repackaging these old games from all this PS3 and whatnot and keep selling it to you in PS5. Do you get what I mean? These people, they keep on doing this type of thing because they know that these games have value. Plus, at the same time, these consoles are also cheap as well to get. Instead of me having to pay a lot of money for a PS5, I can easily just buy PS4, PS3, and everything, like, because it's cheap with the games and all that type of stuff. But let's leave that aside for now and let's concentrate on the PS3 because that's what I want to talk about more. Now, when it comes to PS3, I am going to do something that's very, very unique. I'm going to add different fighting games. Like, for example, Skullgirls. This is a game that Nigerians should play. Another game that I would add are stuff like Mortal Kombat 9, Tekken, Tag Tournament, or Tekken 6, I don't know. Street Fighter 4, those types of... I'm going to add all those fighting games there. But however, for our fighting games, you're not going to play it with the normal controller. We're going to put all those arcade sticks so that way you're going to feel the arcade. We're going to package it that way so that way it will attract customers, because if people see it in a different type of way, they're more likely to pay for it. And besides, they know that they're going to have a good time anyway, and the more good time that they have, the more money we're making. Of course, we'll also add some other games like maybe Ninja Gaiden or Uncharted and other games as well. We'll think about what we'll add in the future. Do you get what I mean? But then when it comes to racing, there is one game that I want to add, and this game is Mod Nation Races. We're going to try and create like a racing sim type of thing for PS3, but for that game, because that game is one of the best racing games that Sony has ever made, even though it's underrated. Like, I wish that this game got like different sequels, but unfortunately. So we're just going to leave PS3 aside for now because that's what we're going to add and everything. Now let's concentrate on PS4. Now for PS4, the only game I'm thinking about right now is Just Dance, and here's why. It is cheaper to get the Just Dance set for PS4 because we just need to get the PlayStation camera, which is cheaper, and at the same time, we just need to get any older version of Just Dance. Like, we can get anything from 2017, 2018, 2019. Those ones are much cheaper. At the same time, we don't need to download any other thing just for the game to work. Do you get what I mean? At the same time, this game is going to attract female audiences, and this is how we can basically use that game to maximize our profit, because if girls can see that, okay, we have a type of game that can favor them and stuff, they'll always want to come back and play over and over and over again, and from there we make a lot of money. In fact, if the girl sees us, okay, that we have not only this game, but we might have other games as well, they'll also want to pay for those ones probably. Do you get what I mean? Now, I am considering adding other games from other consoles, like, you know, Wii Sports and everything, if you played that, and maybe stuff from Xbox 360, like the Kinect and everything. I'm not sure, but we'll probably add those ones too. But just know that our game center is going to have so much variety that you will always come back begging for more. In short, there will be something for everybody. But here's one thing that I want to do with the game center that will make us even more unique. Now, I'm pretty sure that many of us grew up on stuff like the Sega, PS1, PS2. We are going to have like all these old school days, maybe an old school month, old school week or something that is dedicated to those older consoles, where we'll set them up and everything, and then people can play them. We could even have competitions tied to them, you know, where now that whoever wins this game can win so and so money. Do you get what I mean? And it's going to basically be so good because people are going to come from all over just to play these older games again. If we can sell people nostalgia, we're going to make lots of money and get lots of attention. But yeah, that is all for today's video. If you want to see more from this series, please comment below, and as always, I hope I see you guys next time.